challenge. Alright, Rohan versus Angmar. This is probably one of the hardest matchups for Rohan to play against. And... draft. Start with draft, have a farm right there. Get 2 stud farms. Build this into a farm. Build this into assembly point eventually, but first I want Theodred. Are there spiders over there? Yes, there are. Oh, peasants aren't doing too well against the spitters. Well, it's okay. If that unit looks like it's about to die, we'll just turn them into traitors. He is Herald of Woe. How are they doing? They're actually holding out.
He's a Herald of Woe.
Don't disrespect the peasants. They know what they're doing when they want to. Burn it into the ground.
If I go, Theodred dies. Use whatever weapons you can muster.
Now, peasants have the longest recruitment time out of all basic infantry units. 50 seconds. And there's no way of reducing that. Like, no way at all. Okay, now that unit has moved out of the way, build an assembly point. They blighted my stud farm that I expected. Need one of my units to go back and defend. And these peasants are going to come out all drafted, which is really good for us. I'm going to build another farm back here just so we can keep up the peasant spam in the early game. Oh, some spiders followed us, but we've got the peasants protecting our farm that can do some work. Now, I might be mistaken, but I believe Gambling is actually really good against Angmar because he has the flaming arrow ability when he is in his horse form. So I should actually get an archery range, and this is currently 4 resource buildings. I need 1 more, and that's a Barrowite lair. So we're going to sit here now. I'm going to sit here and heal, and save up for either Theodred or Gambling. I think Gambling first. True, yes, this map is really easy to fight on, but the thing is that I won't be able to do some of my cheesy tactics that I can normally do against AI on larger maps. Here, it's all funneled into one place, yes, but it also means that it's all funneled into one place. So, which King of Angmar is going to be in the same place as, say, for example, his entire army, protected by his siege. And Rohan is a faction that likes a nice wide open map for cavalry to move around and run into the backs and destroy siege before they can get to the front line. And don't worry, I know we're going to be facing siege because Angmar always makes a Dark Iron Forge. Always. They always make a Dark Iron Forge. Okay, Gambling and Theodred are the same amount of money, so I think I'm going to get Theodred first. My reasons are my own. And I'll reveal them soon enough. And yeah, more peasants means more protection. I prefer if this unit had a banner carrier, so it would actually regenerate its units outside of combat, but that's fine. I need Theodred out of his corrupted form as soon as possible, but I want Gambling and Theodred to be hit by his corruption first, his banishment first, before we change him, so then we can have their powers back faster. Because their powers are the best of the faction. Theodred with his base building, and Gambling with his peasant summoning and peasant improvement. Yeah, I think this might be the map where we don't actually use cavalry. This might be the map where we only have Gambling on his horse, so he can fire arrow some Angmarim pikemen. Because yeah, honestly, We're still probably going to get the exile camp, so we might still have the exiles, but I don't think we're going to prioritise them as cavalry. I think we're going to prioritise our other heroes as infantry units.
Victory will be ours.
And because it's Angmar, we don't need to worry about pikemen either. Because the only pikemen the only cavalry they make are wolf riders, and they don't typically make wolf riders. Okay, let's get rid of this. Get some more peasants, only 150 each.
He's a herald of woe.
And with the Barrow White being distracted by all these guys, he can get killed.
Rise up. You shall know my wrath.
Come, peasants, we must rise up and fight. We need an armory as well, which is only 600, which I think is one of the cheapest in the mod. Yeah, look at that. Theodred and his building alone destroyed that. Theodred is definitely one of the more powerful heroes in this kind of situation.
Nothing shall stand before us.
Build another farm.
Our people must survive.
When peasants are near a farm, they do become stronger, so having this farm is better.
Victory will
And
be
if we need to fall back, we can fall back. What on earth?
We are called to
Theodred?
honor. Nothing shall stand before us. We've completed this one.
I can't actually believe they did that. Actually, no, I can believe they did that. I'm just disappointed that they did that. I just feel hatred welling up inside now, because with that one ship, they can destroy this entire
I will
base.
lead you. Let us make haste. We must go.
Although I don't think the AI typically moves the bombardment ship around very well. Yeah, they don't move They don't move the bombardment ship. Although it doesn't mean I'm going to let it live. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to get rid of that. Got to get rid of that bombardment ship right away. Yeah, they're aiming for Theodred right now. And they've got a boom ship, which...
Our people must survive.
Yeah.
They will take
I'm glad they haven't got the Witch King yet, is all I can say. I'm glad they haven't got the Witch King yet. Yeah, get rid of this bombardment ship as soon as possible. Forget about the boom ship. Ignore the boom ship. Run! Run, you fool! Run! Oh, you didn't get destroyed. Oh, no, you did. I'm going to spend more money to get rid of that bombardment ship, because otherwise it's going to destroy my army. Case in point. There's Zafragor and Drowglin. Oh, dear.
Victory will be ours. Nothing shall stand before us. Without delay.
Yeah, 3 very powerful heroes and very dangerous heroes. That bombardment ship's got to go. I don't know where it is. I don't care where it is. It's just got to go.
We must rise up. Fight with courage. They must die.
If need be, I can turn these guys into traitors. I'll turn some of them into traitors, actually.
Our people must survive. You shall know.
Sorry,
my
Zafragor,
wrath.
but you should know that doesn't do any damage when you're that weakened.
We are called to honor.
The enemy is near.
I don't know when that bombardment ship, and I don't actually care. I just want to I just want to know that it's gone.
Our people must survive.
So I spent 1,000. I spent the money I was going to spend on gambling to get rid of that bombardment ship, and I don't even think I got rid of it. So that's 3 heroes we got rid of: Mornemarth, Zafragor, and Drowglin. Although Drowglin will obviously come back very quickly because it's Drowglin. But thanks to Theodred and his towers and the men they summon, we're in a very strong position. I'm going to keep Theodred back because we don't want him too far forward or he'll die. Although he's cheap for now, he won't be cheap forever. Oh, well, that's that gone.
This is our land. Fight with courage.
We'll push Angmar back. They haven't played that. They haven't played their big trump card yet, which I'm grateful for
Our people must
to
survive.
an extent.
We must rise up. I will lead you.
But luckily, Theodred has the biggest counter to the Witch King. He doesn't do well against buildings. He does 0 damage to buildings. He does a lot of damage to structures, 0 damage to buildings.
Shall know my wrath.
And this building's got an upgrade.
I will lead you. Our forces are under attack. Victory will be ours.
Again, we're still going predominantly peasants right now. I'm just going to count a lot of my peasants to get gambling out now.
Nothing shall stand before us. They must die.
Yeah, the main reason I wanted to do this little test is because I played some PvE with a friend of mine recently, and he was playing Rohan. I wanted to see if there was a strategy with which you could use to deal with Angmar. Because that seems to be Rohan's biggest. That seems to be his biggest problem. Is just Rohan in general, playing against Angmar. Because Angmar is a very difficult faction to play against. Brutal AI Angmar is a menace. And we've been doing really well against them because we've been playing to Rohan's strengths in the early game. Yes, we didn't get an exile camp, which is probably one of their biggest strengths. But having Theodred, Theodred is by far the greatest thing about Rohan in its way of protecting itself. Their buildings also getting protection from the draft is really good. And also, none of their tier 2 powers matter when you can go for healing Theoden. And then your 2 middle tier 3 powers are just as good as your outer tier 3 powers, in my opinion. So before we get Theoden cured, as I said, let's give Gamling the FU card. He gets a little bit angry that he got given that by his king, but he'll feel better about it when he's healed. And yes, still. Obviously on a map like this, once you've gone through the main waves to begin with, and you just push through, the enemy just kind of just stops. So this wasn't so much a full video on like how to beat Angmar the best. This is just kind of me trying to help a friend understand how best to beat Angmar. So I tried to show it. I tried to explain that Theodred is amazing. But best way to show it in my when you have the kind of things that I have like this channel, I do find just showing off 1 or 2 ways of how to actually make. But yeah, you can see here, I'm just going to stop talking about other stuff. This is why peasants in the late game are not as valuable, because they do take incredible amounts of damage from the plague. Like, if we'd stayed any longer, we'd already be dead. And I'm actually going to let them try and get out now. Gonna get these Rohan exiles before we upgrade to the exile camp, the king's camp even.
Alas, that these evil days should be mine.
Theodred's death was not yours. And I can test the range of. There is no range. You can build them anywhere. You are all powerful, Theodred. You are amazing.
Our people must survive.
It's a shame they had to change your quotes back to basic Berefor quotes from vanilla. Yeah, the biggest advantage of Rohan, as I have showed before, is just that your camp is not your most important building. The exile camp is your most important building.
Our people must survive.
In fact, I might want to start moving. Oh, what the hell? That was a trebuchet that is being protected by a unit of pikemen. You sly devils.
I will lead you.
Don't listen to me.
Victory will be ours.
Tonight is Oh, we had no more command points, so I just wasted a power. That sucks.
We move onward.
Have the trebuchet move back, catapult move back, have the pikemen distracted by our units, and then boom, trebuchet down, catapult down, whatever this thing is called down. Oh, some non-pikemen.
We must go. Time is short.
What are you? Oh, some more non-pikemen.
We must go.
Oh, some even more non-pikemen.
Hurry on. They must die.
And look at that, all those peasants armed together
We must
are actually really good.
We will face them. This is our land.
My lord.
My lord.
We are called to honor. Victory will
Time to
be
move back.
Your men, my lord,
We're ready to ride out.
will follow you to
Nothing shall stand before us.
Every villager able to wield a sword has been
Victory
sent to
will
the
be ours. Forward. Nothing shall stand before
Keep
us.
step now.
Victory will be ours.
But yeah, even our cavalry, you have to maneuver them around the
Time is
pikemen
short.
very gingerly. Because if something like this happens,
Victory
you're
will be
stuck
ours.
and there is no going back
Forward.
but through.
This is our land.
Build a new tower. And on that tower,
Every
We are
villager
called to
able
honor.
to wield a sword has been sent to the
is that another catapult I just felt? Yep.
They must die.
Pikemen are gone, we are free.
I will lead you.
The only problem with those towers is they are very susceptible to siege.
Our people must survive.
They will not hold out long against siege.
Victory will be ours.
What's this do? All siege engines near the guard post will permanently repair and have double armor. Again, that's a very close range ability.
You shall know my wrath.
But you can see there, just that moment, if we weren't fully prepared, we would have been pushed back quite extensively.
This is our
I think that's the right word.
Every
We are
villager
called
able
to
to
honor.
wield a sword.
Victory will be ours.
Yeah, I might, again, this map, I'm not sure if Rohan kind of bug, if AI kind of bug out on this map. It feels like they
We
do.
must rise up.
So it was kind of easy. But you can see, this is a fully built out base. It's not like they're missing anything. They've got 3 resource buildings. They've got resource buildings on the sides as well. They've built a lot.
Called to honor.
I think I've just done well, and they haven't been brought out of the Witch King. That's the biggest thing here. Because there was no Witch King, we had a very easy time doing this. We had no real trouble dealing with Angmar because they didn't make the Witch King.
We move on.
It's not like they just patched that recently either. It is very well known that AI does make the Witch King quite early in the game. And he's probably one of the most problematic heroes to fight right now because he is so tanky and he has such a widespread AoE attack. More so than any other hero in the game, except for maybe like Galadriel. But it's also from melee, so it's easier to manipulate. So it's not as dangerous as Galadriel, but Galadriel's faction, Lothlorien, is actually easier to deal with than Angmar by a country mile. Again, things like Plague can devastate these peasants, and without a healing fountain near them, they will die quite quickly.
Rise up.
They do need the healing.
Must survive.
Will follow you.
Okay, let's make this the King's Camp so I can actually
Rise up.
Are our king.
begin to end this. But yeah, this base here will not fall to anything we throw at them, except for maybe the last march of the Ents. That's it.
That must be the enemy. Nothing shall stand
We've
before
gotten
us.
far, but without siege, which we could make, but I'm not going to, because again, I typically avoid siege at all costs.
They must.
I just don't like building siege. I really don't. I'm not a siege person.
You shall know my wrath. Time is short.
I recently come into my own that I like cavalry a lot more. Dark Origins 4, welcome to the Madhouse. Thanks for joining. We could get some pitch throws and they would be pretty good, I guess.
We must
Nah,
rise up.
we're doing fine.
We will face them. We are called to honor. Hurry on.
Yeah, all of Theodred's towers, so good. In the early game, you may think, oh, it's just a tower, it's a very easy, flimsy tower. But the only thing is, siege is the only real way of dealing with these towers. If you don't have siege, then you're going to have a really hard time dealing with them. Which means you're going to have an easier time. You're going to have you as Rohan are going to have an easier early game because you have these towers to protect a point. It's a lone tower, but when added into with Theoden's banishment when he's still corrupted, the speed at which these comes back is ridiculous.
Our people must survive. We must go.
In the late game, it's not as valuable. No, it's not as valuable in the late game because you have to keep them alive. You have to fully buff them. But in the early game, you don't need to fully buff them.
Our people must survive.
It's a level 1 ability that is at least a level 4 ability in strength. It's really good. It is really, really good.
Nothing shall stand before us.
Anyway, we're now starting to get our cavalry. Oh, pikemen, no! I'm out. I'm out. You can take it, I don't care. Peasants,
Your men, my lord.
for king and country you must die,
We are called to honor.
so that we may live. Let's get heavy armor so we can live a little bit longer through those attacks.
Every villager able to wield a sword.
Won't save us against a plague, but it might save us against their spears. And if they're going to do that, then I'm going to ignore them.
Able to wield a sword.
Let us make haste. Forward. Remove this evil.
Ignore the pikes that are attacking us.
Go forth.
And yeah, charging straight into those pikes, you can see the damage we got inflicted. It's not good. We get dealt a lot of damage.
Your men
We are called to honor. Hurry on.
will follow you to whatever end.
And we're out of command points. Bleh.
I will
Bleh.
lead you.
So let me test. Does Gamling get the fire arrow? Yeah, he does get the forceful burning arrow. Can it kill a Thrallmaster? It cannot. Okay, so Gamling is still better to keep with the peasants. I'm going to give him the lead. Going to give Elfhelm the lead soldiers of Neduseld. So he is not a horseman. He is a swordsman.
Follow you to
He is led by a swordsman bodyguard, and he can heal allies around him by one lost troop.
We must rise up.
That and besides that one lost troop from each battalion does make a difference.
Our people
When you
must
add it up
survive.
together, it does make a difference.
Forward. They will
That's plague. That's plague. That's plague. Run away.
Nothing shall stand before us. Our people must survive. Hurry on.
Okay, yours going to sit there and die apparently.
Be ours.
That's your choice, I guess. Or the choice I would have given you, but it's your choice if you want to do that.
I will lead you.
But yeah, I'm very afraid of plague. Not many factions have early tier units that can survive that plague. In fact, I don't think any early tier unit except for Imladris and maybe Lothlorien can survive that plague.
Just say when.
Just say when.
Nothing shall stand before us. This is our land. The enemy has settled here already.
your
We
men
must rise up.
will follow you.
Nothing shall stand before us.
But yeah, now we're kind of at an impasse where we can't destroy the enemy base because we need siege. But I'm also too stubborn to build siege. So what's happening right now is we've got the good old Mexican standoff, where we're waiting for the moment where we can actually do something. You know what? We're going to build some pitch throwers because they can do stuff to an enemy base. It's not building siege, it's just building something that's good against buildings. So I'm not breaking my rule. And I guess this game finished faster.
Nothing shall stand before us.
Don't charge them, you fools. Oh, we lost the unit of
Our
Vanguard,
people
that
must
sucks.
survive.
Well, we can now get alliance between men and elves.
Are out.
We have a big peasant army. I feel like if we wanted to, we could actually finish this. We could try and finish this by charging everything in, but we don't have glorious charge. That's the biggest problem. We don't have glorious charge. If we had glorious charge, there's no way they would live. Need more command points again. God damn it.
We are called to honor. Fight with
Should I just
courage.
charge and say to hell with it? Maybe.
I will lead you.
But yeah, we got very lucky again. The one time I wanted to actually try a strategy that could actually beat the AI, and they don't give me what I want. Ah, the AI.
The farms are under attack. Nothing shall stand before us.
Dead Sea. Unfortunately, the best place you're going to find BFME2 is probably somewhere on eBay, because it is no longer a game you can buy per se from a store, because it's not sold on the market anymore. But you can actually get the mod for free through for a download. I can't remember where it is or how you do it, but you can definitely do it, and it is for free, and it's not illegal.
Time is short. We must go.
That's all I can get. That's unfortunately all I can think of on the top of my head right now.
We've completed this one.
That is your best chance of getting this game.
We must find more resources. Our people must survive.
Okay, we're gonna try.
Move onward. Time is short. This one is.
Gonna lead with the Galafrim.
Let us make haste. You shall know my wrath.
We are proud to fight.
Watchful for the enemy. Swords up. I will lead you. We must rise up.
Everyone charging in.
I will lead you.
Why are you attacking your own units? Oh no, there was a unit of pikemen in there. Okay.
Nothing shall stand before us. We will have victory.
Oh, thanks, Deadsy, for joining. Welcome to the Madhouse. Yeah, the only place you'll be able to find Battle for Middle-earth now is online, unfortunately. You won't be able to actually buy a physical copy. Well, you can buy a physical copy, but expect to spend at least £100 for it. I got it just before it got sent off. It got took off the market, so I got it at a pretty good price. But unfortunately, that ship has long since sailed. So if you're hoping to find it, you might be out of luck.
This is our land.
Alas, that these evil days should be mine.
Every villager able to wield a sword has been sent.
Oh, look at all those reinforcements. Don't break now, game. We're almost done. Something I've noticed is when I'm doing a session of Edain, the game seems to last 3 games before on the 4th game it then crashes at some point.
Rider of the mark.
That's something I've learned over the last few months of playing this mod again.
We are called to honor.
Yeah, look at that. Not needing a single unit of siege. Not needing a single siege unit. But yeah, those pitch throws, oh my lord. Oh, to be fair, the peasants did do a very good job of this.
Our people must survive.
Obviously, Theodred did the heavy lifting with the towers. They kept the heroes at bay early on. We'd have had trouble with dealing with Zafragor and Mornemar otherwise. Because also Theodred gets more power from the banishment that Theoden put them under. There we go. Very good. Ugh. I am knackered, but I think I can get one more game in.